Xijiang Qianhu Miao Village, the beauty of a thousand-house Miao Village. There is a place in China where wooden houses stretch endlessly across the mountainsides. Narrow paths wind through ancient homes, and when night falls, the entire village lights up like a galaxy among the mountains. This is Xijiang Qianhu Miao Village, one of the most famous and impressive Miao villages in Guizhou province, China. From a distance, Xijiang looks almost like a small city nestled in a valley. But as you venture deeper inside, you begin to realize that this place is very different from a modern urban area. It is a traditional cultural space, where the way of life of the Miao community has been preserved for generations. The village is surrounded by the green mountains of Guizhou. The mountains form a natural valley, while Miao houses are built along the steep slopes. This creates a remarkable landscape. Houses connected to houses, levels rising one after another, and rows of rooftops stretching from the foot of the mountain all the way up the hillside. As you enter Xijiang, one of the first things that catches your attention is the architecture of the traditional houses. Many of the traditional homes are built primarily from wood, featuring multiple floors and distinctive sloping roofs. The houses stand close together along the mountainside, forming narrow streets that follow the natural contours of the terrain. Here, every slope, every staircase, and every corner can become a beautiful scene. In the morning, as the first rays of sunlight pass through the surrounding mountains, the village slowly begins to awaken. Thin streams of cooking smoke rise gently from the wooden houses. Local residents begin their daily routines. The narrow streets gradually become more active, yet they still retain the peaceful atmosphere of a mountain village. Visitors may encounter local people walking through the streets, preparing goods, talking with one another, or carrying out activities connected to their traditional way of life. The Miao people are also well known for their beautiful traditional clothing. During festivals and cultural performances, Miao women often appear in elaborately decorated traditional costumes, accompanied by distinctive silver jewelry. These costumes are not only beautiful but also represent a cultural identity that has been passed down through generations. One of the most fascinating things about exploring Xijiang is the feeling of walking through a living cultural museum. But this is not a silent museum. People still live, work, and preserve traditional customs inside the houses on the mountainside. That is why the beauty of Xijiang is not only found in its scenery, but also in its people and their everyday lives. As you continue deeper into the village, you will discover stone-paved paths, small bridges, traditional handicraft shops, and streets filled with local character. Some areas are busier, with restaurants, shops, and tourist activities, while the paths farther inside the village offer a quieter and more intimate atmosphere. From the higher viewpoints along the mountainside, the entire landscape of Xijiang becomes truly spectacular. Thousands of wooden houses stretch across the valley, while layers of green mountains rise in the distance. Seen from above, the rooftops look like waves flowing across the mountainside. This is also one of the most beautiful views of Xijiang. On cloudy or misty days, the scenery becomes even more magical. The distant houses may partially disappear behind a thin layer of mist. Mountains, trees, and wooden rooftops blend together, creating a distinctive landscape of the Guizhou highlands. But perhaps the moment that leaves the strongest impression on visitors is when night begins to fall. As the daylight gradually disappears, individual houses on the mountainside begin to light up. First, There are only a few small lights. Then hundreds, and eventually thousands of points of light begin to appear. Within a short time, the entire village transforms into a sea of lights nestled inside the valley. The dark rooftops contrast beautifully with the warm golden lights. Roads glow section by section, while the rows of houses create shimmering curves across the mountains in the darkness. Standing at a high viewpoint and looking down, you can truly appreciate the enormous scale of the village. A vast valley is covered with traditional houses and countless lights. This is the moment when Xijiang reveals a completely different beauty from what you see during the day. During the daytime, the village feels peaceful, simple, and authentic. At night, Xijiang becomes vibrant, romantic, and captivating. But behind this beautiful scenery lies a long story of Miao history and culture. The Miao people are one of the ethnic communities with a long history in China. Over many generations, they built their lives in rugged mountainous regions, creating villages with distinctive architecture and cultural traditions. Xijiang is a remarkable example of how people have adapted to life in mountainous terrain. Houses are built along steep slopes. Paths are connected by stairways. Terraced fields can be found in areas suitable for farming. Together, these elements form a village system that is closely connected with the surrounding mountains and natural environment. And it is this combination of nature, architecture, and people that gives Xijiang its unique appeal. If you have time to explore the village, you can also discover traditional Miao handicrafts, embroidery, textile weaving, silver jewelry making, and other traditional crafts continue to play an important role in the local cultural life. The patterns on traditional clothing are often highly intricate, featuring numerous symbols and images with cultural meanings. Every line and every pattern helps tell a story about the community and its traditions. A journey to Xijiang, therefore, is not simply about sightseeing. It is also a journey into a culture that has been preserved and passed down through generations. And if you enjoy photography or filmmaking, Xijiang offers countless beautiful perspectives. Morning is perfect for capturing the mountains, mist, clouds, and everyday life of the local people. In the afternoon, the softer sunlight creates beautiful shadows across the rooftops and mountainsides. And at night, it becomes the perfect time to capture the entire village glowing with thousands of lights, especially from elevated viewpoints. You can clearly see how the entire village follows the natural shape of the valley, from a single wooden house to the entire village, from a narrow pathway to the distant mountains. Xijiang always feels as though every frame has its own story to tell. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about Xijiang is not a single building or landmark. It is the harmony between everything. The harmony between the mountains and the village, between wooden houses and warm lights, between modern life and ancient traditions, between people and nature. When you leave Xijiang, you may not remember every single path you walked along, but the image of wooden houses stretching across the mountainside, narrow village streets, the voices of local people, and the brilliancy of lights at night may remain in your memory for a very long time. Xijiang Qianhu Miao Village is not simply a destination for sightseeing. It is a place to slow down, observe, and feel, to experience the rhythm of life in a mountain community. to appreciate the beauty of traditional homes, to admire the grandeur of the mountains of Guizhou, and to discover a culture that continues to live and evolve alongside the modern world. If there is a place in China that makes you want to stand quietly on a high viewpoint, look down at the rooftops spreading across the valley, and simply enjoy the moment, then Xijiang Qianhu Miao Village is certainly one of the places worth discovering. A village surrounded by mountains, a cultural home of the Miao people, a living painting shaped by nature. And when night falls, Xijiang transforms into a breathtaking sea of lights among the mountains of Guizhou. That is the beauty that makes Xijiang Qianhu Miao Village one of the most remarkable destinations in China.